else. First Class Magazine, Crush TV. Hey, I'm here with the greatest running back of all time. Waco High, class of 91, 1990, Louis Fite. So Louis, I mean, like, when did it all begin for you?
Well, really, it all begins, man, like in east side of Waco. You know, I moved to Waco like when I was in the 5th grade, 6th grade, and I came out of Compton, California. Didn't really have no focus, anything, you know, like where to go. All I seen was gang banging. All I seen was guys getting killed. So when my auntie sent me to Waco, my mother just told me that, hey, I got to find a way out of here. You know, that's exactly what she told me. So every day, man, I went to Wiley. You know, I went out there to Wiley, went out there by the YMCA, and just practiced by myself. I kept watching Tony Dorsett. I kept watching guys like Earl Campbell. You know, just like playing football, and that's all I thought about was just playing football. That's what I wanted to do, and just seeing them guys and just seeing how how they worked off the football field, stuff like that. I always watched. I watched everything, you know, and just start from there, man. Just making sure that I can just try to get out the hood. You know, that's bottom thing.
I mean, actually coming from Waco, I mean, like, you know, we had a whole bunch of great athletes. But when we started, when you mentioned Wiley, you remind me of the YMCA, of the Elks. I mean, like, that's where all of us really started playing football. Like, we played for the Elks, or we played for Southern, or we played for Lake Little League. But everybody coming from East Waco, like for myself, we all played with the Elks. YMCA was there. Yeah. Being on Wiley practice football field, we run around as kids, but at the same time, we all was family. Yeah. After. We played touch football in the middle of the street, or we played tackle football in the middle of the street, but everybody had a place to go to play football. But coming from you was the talk. Every Friday and Saturday, you go to the barbershop to Jockey Club, who was the talk about? Louis Fite, what are you going to do? Louis Fite, what are you going to do? But as you approach coming to Waco High, you was on varsity your sophomore year. I mean, you on varsity with D. Foster. You on varsity with Greg White. I mean, like, this is the time you young, carrying the ball at a young age, at 15, 16 years old, out there with these big boys. So I was experienced with that when you, like, got on varsity.
Man, when they put me on varsity, really, out of everyone, I felt like that me, the Curtis Jones, was like the only two that was ready. Just learning from Coach Jones, you know, Curtis Jones' daddy. You know, we learned fundamental football. You know, he taught me how to run the ball. He taught me how to make my moves and stuff like that. And then when I got from 9th grade and went to the 10th grade and learned from Greg White, learning from Travis Gibson. You know, I like Travis Gibson's style of running. He was smooth. He kind of ran like Roger Craig from the San Francisco 49ers. Greg White was a strong runner. So I looked at both of them. I looked at both of their games. I looked at Chubby Walker game. I had the speed like Chubby. So I knew I had to put the speed, quickness, agility with the power. I had it all in my face. It was right there in front of me. So just by learning from those guys right there, just taught me that I can play at any kind of level. You know, we played against Lufkin. We played against Dallas Carter. We played against Midland Lee. You know, we played against teams like that had guys, 15, 16 guys going D1 college. So getting from playing against those kind of guys and then watching Greg White them do it, you know, every week, how they practice, how they develop, how they prepare for the next game, you know, it just took me to another level.
I mean, like, describe playing with Coach Tusa, man. Let's get into it. I mean, like, Coach Tusa was an all-time winning coach. He was a great coach. I mean, like, he was a great leader for us, but never could make that championship ring. He went to state. I mean, like, he could have made many state championship games, but overall, I think he was a great coach. He produced a lot of good people. But coming out of Waco High, was Coach's more benefit with the team?
Coach Tusa, man, he's a father figure to me. You know, I would never say anything negative about him. To me, he's one of the greatest coaches. But one thing that a lot of people didn't fall into is just doing the right and wrong thing. You know, a lot of guys, man, we had some of the best athletes that just walked away because pull your pants up, take your earrings out. You know, sit in front of the class, try to be a student first and then come be an athlete. A lot of people didn't want to fall into that. And right now, today, it's the same thing. Like, he's been going through this years and years and years. He's been, just trying to pick out the right bunch because nobody wanted to fall into what Coach Tusa wanted us to do. We was hood guys. We didn't want to hear that I can't wear an earring tonight. You can't say that I can't pull my socks all the way down and once they're supposed to be pulled all the way back up. Just regular rude things, regular right and wrong things. And that's what he went through. But the players that stuck with him, he coaches to the top level. He coaches like he was our father. He made sure that we was doing right things off the football field, mostly than doing right things on the football field. And every day I just always think about the way he just brought us up and made us go from not even thinking that we was in an inner city school. Like, we never knew that we was in an inner city school because he treated us like diamonds. He treated us the right way. It wasn't 7 years ago my girl told me, well, Waco High is an inner city school. I didn't know that because he had us riding the biggest buses. He had us in the best football gear that you can have. Best shoes, He always took care of us because he knew that we was going to play hard for him. But to me, man, he's one of the greatest coaches, greatest just motivator, and just a straight up funny guy if you really get to know him, And Coach Tusa is one of the greatest coaches I ever met in my life.
Well, Coach, you hit on a point because riding on Greyhound trail race every Friday, they're going out of town. A lot of guys in experience just going out of town with their families. But the thing is, when you play in Waco High, we took long trips. We had 2 and 3 hour trips for games. Mm-hmm. But Coach Tusa was a great coach. But you was also right because he always told us sitting in front of the class, no earrings. I never understood no earrings. He was really he was actually telling us be a leader.
Right.
And that's what we was done. But tell us about your first game in Waco High. Your first game. I remember the game. I remember the game. Your first game. Sophomore year. You was the biggest talk.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you how I remember your game. And I remember we had practice. I was in the 7th grade. We had practice at Laker, and you, Terry Bell, and Little Curtis Jones, y'all came and tried to watch our practice.
Yes.
But we was in there watching the NFL film, and they was jumping over the huddles and everything. And Louis, I remember hearing you like, "Oh, I'm gonna do that tonight." I'm looking like, "Who is this guy right here? Talking, he gonna do it tonight?"
That's crazy.
When I opened up the paper that morning, I see number 7, Louis Fite jumps over the huddle. I said, "I remember that guy. He was sitting back at us," and that's why I'm always man, Louis Fite gonna do it. They always say he was Black Moses. That's what they were saying. You was great, man. You gave the inspiration to us, from my 7th grade year all the way to high school.
Yes,
That was all we talked, Louis Fite. But playing with Waco High, man, what was it like just playing on the field with big lights, 1,000 people sitting in the stands?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, to me, it was, it wasn't about football. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't know that I was homeless. A lot of people didn't know that, me and my mother and father really too much didn't see eye to eye over the things that they did in life. But I was homeless, you know what I'm saying? And every day I had to get something to eat. I had to go get that breakfast. I had to go get that lunch. You always see me. But I never told anyone, anything like that because I was strong enough to take this. Because I knew football, some kind of way football was going to get me out of there. And I remember one guy, man, it was Charles Seelman. Charles Seelman came up to me and he was talking. He's like, man, this guy could be pretty good. It was a guy that was his eating place. So the guy said, man, he's all right, but I don't think he's going to be better than such and such, somebody from Killeen he knew. So he said, I give you a plate every time. I give you a plate on every score you make. So every time I score, I get a plate. I think he stopped doing it in the mid-season because I was averaging 3 touchdowns a game. That was my Saturday eating. You know what I'm saying? When Saturday came around and Sundays came around, I wasn't eating. That was the worst days of my life. So when I got on that football field, it was either you're going to stop me from eating on Saturdays, and there's no way you're going to do that. I went out there and there's no way he was gonna stop me, And the Curtis knew it, Terry knew it. They knew when I get that look in my eye, they knew when I get that look in my face that it's gonna be ready to go, So I played football just to eat.
Louis Fite turned Evans' fumble recovery into 6 points on a 3-yard run behind a wall of blockers on the right side.
I mean, like, playing for Waco High and being homeless at the same time. No, I seen it, of course, like on TV shows, web series, but I never thought it just be Louis Fite. I mean, just like, you know, by hearing this, and we talked about my radio show last time, I didn't even know. A lot of people don't even know about it, but now they fit to know it. I mean, like, what was it going, like, you coming from, like you said, Saturday and Sundays you meet, and you got to come back to school. I mean, like, what was going through your head in dealing with this? I mean, like, emotional problems.
Yeah, it was hard. You know, it was hard because, you know, the thing that I was going through. It was like, I knew I had to show you guys a different level, a different person, because I was a leader. But when I get off the football field, it's a different level. I prayed every day. I just said that I'm going to be the best football player that I ever be. When guys went home and went to sleep, I was either at Paul Tyson football field, or I was right there by the Texas, you know what I'm saying, on the Heart of Texas Coliseum, practicing in the dirt, because everybody told me you run in the dirt, you get faster. In high school, I'm at a 4.29 in a 40. Just by working out every day. I never gave myself a chance like to relax, because I wanted to make sure that football was taken care of first. I wasn't that smart, but I went to school every day, never cheated, so my seed was my seed when I made. Playing football was just something that was just, you know, taking me somewhere. You know, one day I'm gonna take care of myself. I knew I was gonna have a child. I'm gonna take care of my kid one day with the things that I do on this football field. So I always, you know, when people used to, oh, you know, Louis Fite was gonna stop you tonight, they didn't understand. He ain't gonna stop me tonight. I gotta eat Saturday. I gotta eat Sunday. No way he gonna stop me. So when I got on the football field, it was the reaction of, don't worry about nothing. I tell everybody, man, don't worry about nothing. I don't care if they beat us by 25 points. When the outcome comes, they got to kill me to win this football game. So I went out there and played my heart out. Coach Tusa found out the 8th game of the season when we was beating, I think we was beating Carbis Cole like 35-0 in the first half. And I haven't scored a touchdown. Like Jay scored 2 touchdowns, Richard scored 2. I think the bag-up quarterback, I don't know what his name was, but he scored a touchdown. So I'm sitting on the sideline with 285 yards, but I haven't scored a touchdown. I can't eat Saturday. So we go in halftime, and Coach Tusa said, hey, you know, you doing all right? I said, yeah. I said, I need to talk to you real quick. He was like, what's going on? He said, well, I said, well, Coach, not being selfish or anything like that, but man, I need to get back in the game. He's like, Louis, you already got 285. I don't want to embarrass these people. I said, I understand that, Coach. I said, but I need to score a touchdown. No, Louis, I told him, I said, Coach, if I don't score a touchdown, man, I ain't going to eat Saturday and Sunday. I got to score a touchdown. And he's like, what you mean about that? I said, well, my mother and father is going out of town. They haven't let me off in the house for almost 7 months now. I said about like 4 months now. I haven't had nothing to eat, Coach. It's been hard for me. He told me in my face, you don't got to worry about scoring no more. We'll take care of that. So Coach Tusa, man, it was a big
inspiration.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Coach Tusa, Coach Grinds, I always took care of me. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew I never asked for nothing. I'm gonna work for it. But if you buy me a hamburger every now and then, you know, that's just them. But they did. They helped me out. You know what I'm saying? And being out there in those streets, man, but just being around you guys. You know what I'm saying? Seeing y'all guys smile when I score a touchdown and come off the sideline and, you know, I come out the dressing room and I got fans. That was big for me. Having fans, people really looked at me differently because in 7th, 8th grade, couldn't buy no shoes. So I didn't have the shoes that I talked about. So the way I got people from talking about me is gonna monster people on the football field. Basketball, I'm a monster on the basketball field. Track, I'm gonna blow you out. So I didn't want to fight nobody. I fought you just by really embarrassing you on what you're trying to do out there at the sports level. I'm gonna embarrass you because I know you're not better than me. Because I'm gonna work harder than you. Because I got a reason why to work hard.
Coming off that, I remember, and I remember y'all. I always used to come to the ninth grade center. I always watching our practice, and we always saying, "Yeah, Louis Fite, just show them what we got, man." You know, we kids, and we used to play at Paul Tyson Field on some Thursday nights. Man, y'all used to laugh at us. Y'all used to laugh at us how we say have our uniform and stuff, because I showed the pass be way over on the other side. We didn't know, man. We freshmen,
Right.
So we just want to try to look good in front of y'all. Say, hey, we could do what y'all want to do.
Yeah.
But coming back, man, I mean, like, Waco High, man, I think just being Friday nights was just like a killer. Man. Paul Tyson Field. I mean, like if you never wore a red helmet or been on Paul Tyson Field, you probably would never ever know what it's about playing for Waco High. Playing on the new field of Waco High is cool, but Paul Tyson is not the same playing as Paul Tyson Field. I mean, just like let's go back Temple.
Okay.
1990. You break your rushing yards. How was that night for you?
Man, well, you know, Coach Tucson, I mean, he never told me about no record. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just running the ball. And so that night, you know, we pull up and they wet the grass down. It's 85, 90 degrees. This grass is soaking wet. So Coach Tucson kind of slipped out and said, "Oh, they trying to stop Fite from getting the record." I'm like, "What record, Coach?" He said, "Well, you need 175 to go over the record." I said, "Okay." Man, you know, that game was so much pressure because now I knew how many yards I had to get, you know. And, you know, looking at Curtis' eyes and Terry Bell's eyes and Ilya Hicks, you know, Goldberg, you know, and knowing that, man, like, I could do something for everybody. You know, every one of them guys that played with me in the 9th grade, 10th grade, you know what I'm saying, it just really, like, just all the way through, like you say, Southern, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can all own a record, you know. Just not mine. I did it for everybody. So, and then it was against a team that nobody liked. Temple was a team, man, that they was always good, but they always had a smart mouth, you know what I'm saying? And that night, I could shut their mouth up. I could break the record. I could bring, you know, I could break it for the city of Waco. And, I had 5 yards to go. So Coach Tusa, it was third quarter. Coach Tusa like, "Louis, you got one more series." So okay. He said, "When you get this 5 yards, fall down." So I grabbed the ball. I went 5 yards. Nobody touched me. I went about 8 more yards. Nobody touched me. So I opened up. Went like 65 for the touchdown. Coach Tusa, I told you not to do that. I said, "Coach, did nobody touch me?" You know what I'm saying? Just making some laugh about it. But that just showed me what kind of coach Tusa was. Like, he never wanted to embarrass a team. I mean, if he did want to embarrass the team, he could have just let me loose. I mean, because some games I was out in the mid. At the end of the second quarter, when I come out in halftime, I got one series, you know. And he could have said, "Go get him. You know, let's put 80 on him." Because that's what they're doing now. You know, you got kids right now running 700 yards in one game. You know.
Going back to that 700 one, I don't think that's right for the... That's not good sportsmanship. Coach should not never let the running back get that many yards in a game, because why you want to embarrass another team out there, make them look totally pitiful. And Coach Tusa did not do that.
He did.
And if we up 35-0, Coach would say, "Hey, he puts up in second, third string playing. He put everybody in and say, 'Hey, we're not going to do that to them,' especially if it's fourth quarter with 8 minutes left in the game. It's 42-0.
And they steady scoring.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Coach Tusa did the right thing. Let's get into this. I mean, like, 1990. I mean, like, playoff game. Y'all lose the second one. I mean, I was at that game. Y'all played at A&M Stadium. I was there. Y'all played Huntsville. Y'all beat them early in the season, but coming back second go around, I mean, like, a heartbreaker. How was it?
It was just, man, that was the most hurtful thing, because I mean, we could have beat this team easy, you know, and I broke my finger like the first play of the game. It was like, I kind of felt like that they kind of did something. Cesar O'Neal broke my finger. And he jumped off sides. So he jumped off sides. I get the ball. Once I get the ball, he comes in. So one guy hit me, and when he hit me, Cesar just steps on my finger. Boom, just bust my finger wide open. So I'm steady on the sideline, bleeding, can't get back in the game because you can't play with blood on the finger. So I started trying to get in and get out, get in and get out. Robert Clark had a pretty good game that game, him and Jay Johnson, but it wasn't me in there, with him. So, and then like the defense, man, it was like it kind of changed something up. They widened the Curtis. They put the Curtis in there in the middle. They widened the other two linebackers out. To me, that was the wrong mistake. Because now they can run the ball anytime. Because they was a passing team. So they tried to, it was just, we got out-coached. You know what I'm saying? We got something, there was too much, I don't know. I just felt like we got out-coached that game. And we didn't get outplayed. We just wasn't ready for what they was going to give us. You know what I'm saying? They was kind of a little bit on like an upper level. But that was a hurtful game, and I feel like I could have done more. I kept bleeding on the sideline. I couldn't really get back in the football game. So it was just that one game, man. It was just like nothing going right that game. Like when we left, I left my belt. We had I had the 2,000-yard belt. So I left my belt, and that was kind of bad luck. And then we never won at Texas A&M Stadium. Remember we got beat. Lufkin beat us.
Oh yeah. Well, hey,
so,
well, we can go back. Let's now hold up. The year you left, and the papers came in on 1991. Is Waco High going to do better this year without Fite? Remember, we had Jay Johnson.
Yeah.
We had Corliss. We had Richard Peoples. I mean,
you had a squad.
I mean, they had a squad that year, and we went. They went to the playoffs.
And
they first playoff.
They won at A&M.
They won at A&M,
Yeah.
and then we come back. We went 2 more games, and then
Odessa.
Carter. I mean, like, I can't really. I was there on the sideline when it's 4th and 2, and Coach Tusa said, "Let's go for it." I'm looking like I'm on JV. I'm looking like.
Oh, I knew the play was.
I'm looking like they gonna go for it. And only thing I could see is Robert Stevens wide open in the zone.
I knew this. I mean, I knew they was gonna do that play, man. We've been doing that play for years, and Coach Tusa always gonna run up the middle, and like I learned all my coaching stuff from Coach Tusa, learning how to coach, and he does some things that be like, I said, Coach Tusa, I got tackled 4 yards in the backfield. I said, yeah, I'm just trying to see if that linebacker gonna bite on something. If he bite now, he'll bite in the 4th quarter. That's what he did. Alexander was biting. The defensive end was biting. Jay Johnson was hit that 4-0. Jay go for 35. Jay go for 10. But he kept biting. And when he bit for that fake, Robert Stevenson's wide open. I knew he was gonna call that play. And it's just, man, that game alone was the craziest game I've ever seen. Just for that defensive back catching an interception, running down the sideline in some kind of way, fumble. Richard jumped over him.
That was Emoji Gibson hit him.
Yeah.
Emoji Gibson hit him in the back.
So did he? So Emoji Gibson hit him in the back. He fumbled, and Richard got the ball back, and they went on to go score. It was like, I told him, I said, man, y'all finna win state, but they went up there to Odessa, and wrong mistake. I think they should have.
Well, being like a lot of us flew up there, half of JV flew up there with them. The thing is, to me, as I'm thinking now, I don't think you should fly high school students to a football game the day before a game because it's really messing with their concentration in a hotel. They don't know how to relax in a hotel, be still in a hotel. They kids. They staying up playing video games, staying up. Yeah. So before the game, everybody want to lay down and rest before the buses leave. But I didn't really think that was wrong idea. Yeah. Because I really think Waco High could have beat them if they would have came down there that day.
That day. You talking about like on the buses? On
the buses. Focus that day.
Relax.
You can even flew them that day to focus, not day before. That was the wrong move.
That's too much. That's
too much on young crowd. Let me ask you this. Being out there in Odessa, who do you think is better, you or Booby Miles? I mean, if you and, I'll put it like this. If you and Booby Miles was in the same backfield for Waco High, who would get more carries?
I would get more carries. It's because Booby was a big guy. You know, Booby was a big guy. He was, man, Booby was a good running back. It's kind of surprising for me to say this, but I just had like, I had the more vision. I had more vision. I had more quickness than he had. I could get out of more holes than he could. But it all depends on like what day we're gonna play. If it's a cold day, I give it to Booby. If it's a hot day, give it to me. You know. But just putting Booby out there, man. Booby, and I watched Booby. You know what I'm saying? As being a youngster, I went up there to Texas Stadium and seen him play against. I think he played against Arlington Lamar. And man, he ran about 275, 80 yards on them boys. Sideline, side, road. You know what I'm saying?
I seen on YouTube, but yeah, he's a big boy.
He's a big boy, man. But you know, it's just that, man, for anybody to really beat me out of something in high school, like you had to really have everything put together. You know, I had everything put together. I had quickness, I had agility, I had one step. You know, my first step was full speed. I could stop and full speed on the first step. My vision was large. I knew defenses. The reason why I knew defenses by going out there to University High School, watching the older guys, going to Richfield, you know, asking the defensive coordinators, hey, you know, what is this? What is that? I always was there with Richfield. I was there when my brother was there, Dwayne Lowe. I was there when Moody was there. You know, Moody was a great running back, you know. James them. But I always watched the defenses and see what they did. I knew what cover 1 was. I knew what cover 2 was. I knew what cover 3, and I knew the responsibilities of the offensive lineman, defensive lineman. And I kind of knew the game a little bit more than a lot of people knew the game. That's why my level of playing football was kind of a little bit more, because I knew the game. I didn't just play football, I knew it. You know, I knew in cover 2, the defensive end is going to try to push you outside. I know the cornerback was going to 10-yard zone. You know, I knew the linebacker only had, you know, so I knew the diamond level. I knew everything about football. You know, you play a 5-man line, I know who to go to. I know what kind of defense you're going to run. Cover 3, cover 1, cover 4. I knew this. So when I got the ball, the first mistake that you make, I'm going to capitalize off of it. You know, and I taught Jay Johnson. That's why Jay level kind of stepped up the next season, because he knew defenses. He can sit there and say, okay, I see 2 safeties, I know it's cover 2. I see 1 safety, I know it's cover 1. If I see a safety and a safety, but I see 1 even up and 1 is kind of down low, I know that's cover 3. That's what I taught Jay Johnson. Jay Johnson figured that out and went down to Robert Stevenson. Another guy went over 2,000 yards. You know,
another great running back.
We just learned, we learned defenses. You know, that's all we can say. That we was kind of upper level than everybody else, because we knew exactly what you was doing.
But I mean, like, overall, with playing for Waco High, I mean, like, the highlights on Friday nights, the barbershop talk, newspapers. How was it? And then we're going to go into something else.
Okay. We were talking about, like, really, man, I never read the newspaper. I didn't even know that I was leading the nation, leading the state in rushing. I didn't know the second guy behind me. Like I say, I was playing for food. I was just trying to eat. You know, I'm trying to make sure that I scored enough touchdowns so I can get me something to eat on Saturdays. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of people talk, but I loved it, but I didn't. You know, because now you put a little bit more pressure on me. A lot of more people dislike me because of just hearing about me a lot. You know, I went through that a lot and stuff like that. But man, it was just great to hear people talk about me and hear people coming out of town and talk about me. You know, when I play against their football teams, and it's just overall, man, I just love everything Waco gave me. You know, it was the best ever.
Hey, so let's get into depth like this. At that time, when we came across, you and your cousin was walking across the street from 7-Eleven. I mean, like, it was all in the paper that week. I mean, everything went, Louis Fite running well, Louis Fite this, Louis Fite that. But how was it? You seen everything right there, your reactions, and before you had the big game that week. How was it?
Oh man, that was like a life changer to me. Man, that was hard. It was like me and James and his sister. You know, we went to go get. I don't know what we went to go get. We went to the store to go get something to drink. Jungle juice, the most jungle juices. Man, we come out and walking down the street. James on the left side of me. We right there in front of James Hines. I'm in the middle, and sister on the right side. So I hear like that. So when I look back, James had already got hit. Like you can just, boom, you hear James like, oh. So I looked, and he would have lived if the guy would have just slowed down. But he hit him so hard and stopped James' head. He flipped and his head hit the hood. Took out about at least about 20 yards in the air, you know, down the street. Just when he fell, his brain opened up. His sister grabbed him, his brain fell out, man. And just to seeing that, man, I was like, man, this is real. Like, this is crazy. You know, I've never seen nothing like that in my life. And I had to think about a football game, you know, and I just really wanted to quit. I didn't know what to do. You know, like I'm going through something like this. This is my senior season, the start of senior season. He always was behind me, helped me out. You know, he bought a car that summer. Man, James was finna go to school, finna go to Tarleton State. And man, he was a guy that just kept me right, you know, kept my feelings right. You know, when I didn't have nowhere to stay, I always went to stay at his house. His mom and dad, you know, just was always there for me. You know, them Sealmans was always there for me. And to see him pass away in my face and have to play a football game the next week, man, I didn't know how I did it. I don't know how I did it. That was the best game I ever played. I had 410 yards in that game. I had 385 yards in the second half. You know, that was really the first game I played the fourth quarter. They was winning like 21-7. I think the first time I touched the ball went 85 yards. They called that back. So I was ready, but I wasn't ready. After that, man, the game was over with in my brain. The next play, they tried to pitch a ball to me. I seen the crash. I seen James. I'm sitting there just with my hands on my knees, and the ball just, you know, it was a fumble. I walked off the sideline and didn't want to play no more. Terry Bell came and told me something in halftime. It's like, James would want you to do that. James wants you to play football. He said you're the best football player he ever seen. Man, just act like those guys are ghosts out there. Run through them like ghosts. That was the only thing I remember was Terry telling me that. So I went back out there that second half, and it was like, it was on, you know. I mean, I did a play that made a guy fall out the stands. Like one of I think it was the commentator. It was a screen play, and I got hit, and I came out of it, slid out of it, and we still ran about 60 yards down the field. The guy that was talking, he fell out the, you know, at the booth, you know what I'm saying, at the talking booth. But that game right there, man, was amazing. It was amazing to play. The season was. I dedicated my whole season to, you know, James Steele. I did some amazing things. I think he was there with me, pulling me through. I hardly ever got tired. I played, like I said, I played every game for him. And man, that was the hardest thing. That was hard. That was
Yeah.
amazing hard.
I remember everything in the paper, and I remember Coach Bodges and Coach Jones talking about it, it's going to be a hard game for you, but you still overcame that. I mean, you overcame a lot of obstacles playing for Waco. I mean, like, you know, by hearing your story and people hearing your story, man, everybody don't know the true story of Louis Fite. But I mean, like, being being a hero in Waco, man. I mean, like, you was up for award in the ESPY Awards one year. I remember that. And my favorite thing about Louis Fite, man, he like jumping over huddles. He like turning flips on everybody, and that was your highlight. Like, you jump from the 5-yard line to the end zone. I mean, like, come on, man. What was going through your head when you like jump in there?
Just try to get it in the zone the best way I can. You know, I knew how to flip. I learned how to flip with Lil Juicy. Remember Lil Juicy in East Waco? I used to flip against Lil Juicy, man, and could have been one of the best athletes in Waco. But I just learned how to flip, man. We used to always flip over bushes, you know. We always picked the tallest thing to flip over. And so in the football game, I seen a guy that was 6'2", 6'3", and I wanted to you know, do something, you know, do something kind of special. And I flipped over his head, and it just brought up the football team, you know. You got the fans hype, you know, and it was like it was my simple thing to do, you know. I'm gonna flip over your head, and just like I say, man, just doing that and playing football with some of the best football players in the world, and I mean, you know, seeing guys like you, you know what I'm saying. I used to always talk to you, man. You always said something good about me. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know, like sometimes, man, I was down, you know, and you always came to talk to me. You were always one of the guys, man. When you messaged me on Facebook, I told my wife, I said, that kid right there had a smile on his face, always said good things about me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate guys like you. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, guys like Coley Ward, you know what I'm saying? Guys just younger than me, and just seeing y'all, you know, I wanted to do it right because I wanted y'all to do it right. I wanted to open up a gate. I wanted to open up a gate for y'all to have a chance to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Coach Toots always say, be the guy that open up the gate for these guys and do it right. And that's what I did, man. I made sure my off the field stuff was good. My on the field stuff was spectacular. I wanted to bring all the scouts down there because you guys, you know, deserved it, y'all earned it, you know what I'm saying, and just played hard, man.
I mean, like, being in Waco, I'm like, everybody, of course, if you live in Waco, you know what Waco's about. You know, it's a lot of trouble in Waco. A lot of guys come out of it. I mean, like, you know, Damon Thomason came out of it. You got Derrick Johnson, he came out of it. I mean, it's Michael Hard. I mean, I could just name a whole bunch of people that we know, but came out of obstacle out of Waco. And Waco did have a lot of trouble in it. A lot of people did get in trouble in Waco. But, like, with guys like you, man, I mean, like, you gave us hope every day. I mean, every day. It was on a Friday night, and we going to see Louis Fite. It was just like, you gave us hope every time we seen you. I mean, like, we could be at a Waco High basketball game our freshman year, and we just see you in the stands, like, oh, they kick it. You know, my cousins and all them, like, I want to go out there and kick with y'all. I don't think I got a much in the head. Get away from here, freshman. I'm like, hey, I want to be a part of y'all too.
Yeah, you did, man.
But I mean, like, I'm glad you came on. But I'm like, what's in the future? Like, I know everybody been talking to me about this big Waco High documentary, this big Waco High film and movie. I mean, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, to me, man, you know, Waco High really need to get out there. They really need to know the real story about Waco High. It's a lot of guys that could have done a lot more than what I did. They just got caught up in bad situations. It just didn't have the will, you know, didn't have that reason why I wanted to do something special. And man, to do a documentary of Waco, I think that'd be the biggest thing ever, because people just don't understand. Off in that little town of Waco, it was a gold mine. Like, we had some of the fastest athletes in the world. We had some of the strongest athletes in the world. We had some of the smartest athletes in the world. But nobody know about it because it's just in that small town. They're stuck in there. So like they say, what stays in Vegas, you know, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. It seems like it's the same thing in Waco. What goes on in Waco, it normally stays off in there because we don't leave.
Well, everybody know about Waco. Hey, thanks, Louis Fite. Rushing Yard Leader 1990. Man, if y'all don't even know about this guy, y'all need to go, man, Google him. I'm really serious. I'm like, man, it was just awesome. Number 7, retired jersey. Man, I'm like, man, I'm great to have him on the show and everything, man. Glad to be on here. We about to wrap this up, man. Thanks for, hey, Crush TV, Crush Magazine, thanks for being on the show. Y'all know I always do. See you when I see you. Your boy, Howard.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Man, I appreciate that.
Man, we got it all, Rich.